The glow of the computer screen was the only light in the living room. Outside, the neighborhood slept in heavy silence, but my chest was alive with unease. I leaned closer, squinting at the Facebook notification that had blinked to life. A message from Max, my wife's cousin. Odd. Max and I weren't close. We'd talked baseball once or twice at family gatherings, nothing more. I clicked it open. I'd like to see you on your knees. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and keep watching, because the best part's coming up next. The words slammed into me, so vile and unexpected they didn't make sense at first. My brain stuttered, trying to rewrite what I'd seen. And then the truth crystallized with a nauseating clarity. This wasn't my account. Sarah had left her Facebook open. Her account. Her cousin. This wasn't meant for me. My hands shook as I scrolled, eyes devouring the thread like a man reading his own death sentence. Months of messages stacked like stones in a grave. Max's crude advances, Sarah's weak protests. But I'm married now. We shouldn't. They weren't rejections, they were paper walls, flimsy, transparent, pretending to resist while leaving the door wide open. The air around me thickened. My chest burned. 6 years of marriage. A child I'd raised as mine, sleeping peacefully down the hall, his soft breaths unaware of the hurricane brewing in the next room. Was this my life? Was everything built on incest and betrayal? When Sarah came home that night, I waited until our son was asleep. My heart hammered like I was about to jump off a cliff. "Sarah," I said, voice trembling with rage I tried to disguise as calm. "We need to talk." Her face changed instantly, collapsing under invisible weight. The tears came fast, hysterical, like she'd been rehearsing them. "It's not what you think." "I didn't know how to tell you." Her voice cracked, but it didn't reach me. I sat there watching her, feeling nothing but the throb of betrayal. "I can handle Max," I said, sharp. "If he's harassing you, I'll make him stop." Relief washed over her face too quickly. It wasn't gratitude, it wasn't safety. It was something else, something that unsettled me even more. 3 days later, the cracks widened. She cried again, not because Max had harassed her, but because he wasn't talking to her. "You should have let me handle it," she whispered, eyes darting away. For one fleeting second, her mask slipped. It wasn't fear of harassment that haunted her. It was fear of losing him. The fragile trust I'd tried to rebuild shattered into dust. One night, near 2 a.m., I woke to soft laughter. Sarah's voice, low and intimate, whispered through the dark. "Who are you talking to?" I asked from the doorway. "My mom," she mumbled without hesitation, blaming our son's upcoming birthday. The lie hung in the room like smoke, thick, poisonous, undeniable. I started pretending I believed her. I started watching, waiting, playing dumb while inside I rotted. Finally, the dam broke. "Either he's abusing you or you're cheating on me," I exploded, my voice ripping through the house like a blade. "I'm not a fool, Sarah." The silence afterward was unbearable. The next day, hollow with regret for my outburst, I tried to talk. But while she worked, temptation clawed at me. I opened her email. One subject line stopped me cold. "Yummy." The contents gutted me. Pictures of Max, graphic, degrading, intimate. Emails detailing encounters stretching back years. A photo of a strap-on captioned, "Still have our old friend?" Dates confirmed the nightmare. This wasn't new. This wasn't a recent slip. They'd been together since their teenage years. My marriage wasn't a marriage. It was camouflage for a secret they'd never truly let go. My world tilted. I stumbled outside, gasping in the cool night air. I called my brother. My voice broke. "Take my guns," I said. "Now!" I wasn't violent, but the rage was alive inside me, a living creature tearing at my ribs. Like what you see. Click like, hit subscribe, and stay tuned. Let's keep going. That night I checked into a sterile hotel, chain-smoking cigarettes I'd quit years ago. Each drag burned, bitter with betrayal. I booked an STD test. The waiting period stretched out before me like a cruel sentence. In my fury, I drove to Max's house. His wife, Sherry, answered the door. "I need to show you something," I said, my voice raw. I handed her the evidence. She stared, her face crumpling not into anger but into something far worse, devastation. Her knees nearly buckled. We sat together, two strangers suddenly bound by the same betrayal. She told me things I hadn't known, Max's encounters with men, his bisexuality, the way he flaunted his secrets with Sarah like trophies. Her world collapsed beside mine. And for the first time, I wasn't alone in the rubble. Lawyers, divorce filings, Sherry and I, unlikely allies navigating the wreckage of two destroyed families. My parents rallied around me. My father paid for the hotel without a word. My mother held me and sobbed into my shirt. Sarah's family, meanwhile, begged, denied, screamed. When I finally confronted her with printed copies of everything, she broke. First came the tears, then the rage. "You should have talked to me first," she shrieked. "You ruined everything." I laughed, hollow and broken. 10 years, Sarah. 10 years of this sickness. You ruined us. I called her father to collect her, the marriage ashes in my hands. And then came the news. Max was in the ICU, antifreeze poisoning, suicide or accident. No one knew. No one cared. Sherry was destroyed. She blamed herself, drowning in guilt that wasn't hers to bear. His parents, who had first comforted her, turned vicious, spitting blame and venom at her grief. When the harassment became too much, I offered her my spare room. She accepted, hollowed out. Living together was strange. We were two ghosts haunting the same space, bonded by shared trauma. We stayed up talking until dawn sometimes, peeling back layers of pain. One night, her hand found mine. It wasn't pity, it was something fragile, something real in the ruins. Therapy, hours of raw honesty. For the first time, I learned what real communication looked like. I learned how starved I had been in my marriage, how blind I'd been to patterns of manipulation and silence. Sarah fought me for my stepson, wielding him like a weapon. I loved that boy. I took him apple picking, held him when he cried for me. But the battle never ended. Sarah poisoned every interaction. In the end, I had to walk away for his peace and for mine. It tore me apart. But slowly, with Sherry, I started to rebuild. We moved to her home state, far from the shadows. New jobs, a small house, life began to take shape again, brick by painful brick. Then the test. 2 pink lines, pregnancy, joy slammed into terror. I had a genetic disorder, one I'd always feared passing on. My nightmare was suddenly at the door. At 14 weeks, we would know. Until then, Sherry held me, whispering hope. Together we chose to believe in a future, even if the ground beneath us trembled. A year after that first message on Sarah's forgotten Facebook account, I held my newborn son. Healthy, perfect. Sherry slept beside me, her hand curled protectively over our child. I stared at them both, my heart aching with scars that would never fully fade. But in their faces, I saw something stronger than betrayal. I saw survival. I saw love. I saw a beginning. The past would always linger, a phantom ache in the bones. But as I cradled my son, I knew the truth. The fire hadn't destroyed me. It had forged me. This family, unexpected, painfully earned, and fiercely real, was mine. And this time I would not let it slip away. You know, stories like this remind us that betrayal doesn't always come from strangers. It can come from the people closest to us, the ones we trust with everything. What struck me most wasn't just the deceit, but the strength it took to walk away, to rebuild, and to allow love in again. Sometimes the ugliest truths break us, but they also show us who we really are and who we're meant to become. This wasn't just a story about infidelity. It was a story about survival, healing, and rediscovering your worth. If this story hit you like it hit me, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more true stories like this, and share your thoughts in the comments. I read every one of them. You never know. Your voice might help someone else going through the same thing.